What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Y'all, like always, beat me here. But it's good to be here. We are back from GunCon, the first annual, hopefully annual, GunCon. We were up in Iowa, just road tripped and got in last night right in the middle of a crazy storm. So anyway, what's up, everybody? How was everybody else's weekend? I'll get to mine and rant a little bit on that here in a little bit. But Emmanuel, thanks for being on here. M1A2 Abrams Tank. Well, that's a cool name. Thanks for being on here. Max, as always, glad to have you here. Swamp Dog Armory. Had a blast with you this weekend. Still just really excited about looking at that 3D stuff. JC, glad you're on here. I had an absolutely incredible weekend. Actually really weak because it was last Tuesday that we headed out on our road trip to Iowa. And it's been pretty much nonstop and since then. We got in last night, so full week on the road. Absolutely awesome. I'm glad y'all beat me on here because sometimes I jump on and no one's in the chat yet, so I'm really just talking to myself for a couple of minutes. But yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. Adam, what's up? I'm going to try to pronounce your name, Mashiri, maybe? Hey, glad you're on here. Josiah, thank you. It actually says, are you free tonight? I don't know if that's the right angle or if you're reading it backwards, but I liked it. It was on Amazon, so I bought it. Very comfortable. Armed Atlas, what's up? Glad you're on here. Your day was good. I got to go see 4... Oh, you had 4 whole rabbits in your yard? That's so exciting. I've got 2 rabbits in my house all the time, but I saw a lot of rabbits out earlier this evening when I went to the gym. I went to the gym today, trying to get that back as a regular part of my life, especially after this last week on the road with all the catfish that we found between here and Iowa. And I have to admit, though, that I went to the gym and then went directly to Chick-fil-A. So kind of counterproductive maybe, but oh well, it's Laura's chicken, right? Anyway, Swamp Dog, y'all got in late Monday. I was thinking, I'm lost on the dates. Okay, so it's Tuesday, obviously, because we're here, right? And that's what we do on Tuesdays. We ramble and chat and tell stories and have lots of fun together. But yeah, we got in. It wasn't super late yesterday, but it was right in time for this like crazy storm front. Apparently it was hailing. Thank God we missed that part of it. But we did get right into Atlanta as the storms hit. So that was not fun. And I was driving that portion of the trip naturally. So I got all the crazy traffic and stuff right at the end of the trip. But glad the whole week wasn't like that. Otherwise it would have been terrible. Philip, well, I'm glad you're back, even though you missed the last few. Really, for the last couple, we've just been ranting about dinosaurs and other stuff with the movies coming out. And last week, though, my dad did jump on here, which was really fun. So you did miss that one. You did miss that one. Armed Atlas, the love stream self-talk is very therapeutic. Oh, live stream. Okay, I was like, wait, what's going on? Yeah, sometimes it feels weird to think that I'm actually talking to like just my computer screen, though. I mean, all y'all are there, but when I think about it like loud, I kind of wonder what my neighbors think, because there's like bright lights in in this area of my house right now. Anyway, weird world we live in. Zaire, thanks for being on here. I hope, guys, I am not good at pronouncing names, and if I sound it out, that's when my country maybe comes out. I don't actually have an accent very much outside of that, I don't think. If I do, y'all can let me know that, though. Anyway, sorry, reading a little bit. JC, what does the subscribers only for live chat? So I changed it after last week, so you have to at least be subscribed to my channel to be on here, I think, or to be commenting on here, because last week, for the first time ever, I had some like really strange trolls jump on here, and naturally it was the one time that my dad went live with me, and there was just some pretty crude comments on there. So yeah, I changed it to where you have to be subscribed to comment, and then all of y'all have been really cool so far, so I don't really think that I'm gonna have to block anybody. Hope we keep it that way. But yeah, last week was very odd. Luckily, my dad, the font over here is very small, so he didn't really see the comments, but yeah, just uncomfortable. And I appreciate that everyone has been really awesome and not commenting rude things for the most part, other than last week. They were obviously just trolls, though, so. Or maybe bots, I don't even know. Yeah, Swamp Dog said y'all have my back, and it's totally true. When I got to Iowa, there was like 3 people that said they were in here like trying to flag the person that was making all the comments for me. Eventually, maybe I will have somebody that can moderate chats for me, but right now it's not too crazy. Like I said, I've been doing this since maybe April at this point, and I've only had one evening, the one evening that my dad was on here, that I've ever had trolls, so hopefully we don't experience that again. Also, sorry, I'm touching my hair a lot tonight because it's doing whatever it wants to, and it's getting in my way. Maybe I get a hat. Oh, anyway, so we can start the ranting portion of this. So many of y'all know that this last week we road tripped from Atlanta to Grinnell, Iowa for GunCon, the first ever GunCon. It was an event, and then the Gun Collective's panel. So absolutely awesome experience. They put on a really great range day. The Gun Collective partnered with Brownells on this event. So really awesome range day, a lot of great vendors out there, and followed by Brownells opening up their warehouse and having the public, everybody who was able to get tickets, because they sold out in 45 minutes, which is just crazy, came up to Brownells headquarters and got to meet all the vendors, talk with them, look at some new products, and then stay tuned for the live panel, which I got to be part of, which was really a neat experience. I was terrified because, unlike talking to y'all on Tuesday nights, the panel was very much in front of real people that I could see. But it was a great experience, and I already told him that, like, now that I got the first one out of my way, I would be so happy to do it again if they would have me back. So yeah, very cool experience. And did any of y'all catch the panel? Was anybody watching? If you didn't, I assume it's on the Gun Collective's YouTube. If not, I know it was on Guns and Gadgets. But yeah, really awesome. Cody, Swamp Dog, y'all are nice. Thanks. I only had really one bad stutter, and it had to be about a Thompson, which is just crazy that I all of a sudden blanked on what Thompson I was trying to describe. My dad said he hung his head in shame, but I also made him stand up like right after that, so I got him back. Mud Lake Ranch, you were there? That is awesome. Did you have a great time? Anyway, sorry, I'm going to read a couple comments. Jake Dog, glad you're on here. JC, you watched Jurassic World Dominion and you were very disappointed because it was pirated and then uploaded to the streaming service you use? Interesting. I'm kind of wondering what streaming service you use now. Instant Karma, yes, definitely. Mud Lake Ranch, did you win any of the raffles? I was hoping my dad would ask questions so that he could get us some extra tickets, but he did think of like 12 questions to ask on our drive home. So if we do this again, if I'm not on the panel again, I will definitely be at the event again, because absolutely incredible event, and want to support the Gun Collective and Genevieve any way that I can, because they're family, along with Brownells, of course. Oh, also, while we're talking about, well, I really just looked over here and I saw my hat and I got excited, so I'm bringing it back out. So y'all have seen me with my tactical tricorn hat, and I have had quite a few people ask where I got it from, and I just found out that the place that I got it from, they had sold out of multicam, which I was very disappointed about because I wanted the multicam one, and I ended up getting myself a green one, and I got Chad the tan one, or coyote, whatever you want to call it. So they're back, and they're better, actually really better, because now they have a 2.0 version that they just came out with, and it has snaps here, here, and here, so you can have a boonie hat or you can have a tactical tricorn hat. So I will be probably getting myself the multicam one now. Also, shout out to the guy from LMT who zip tied my hat for me so that it would fit my head better, because it was extremely windy. I figured out why they have so many windmills in Iowa, and it's because the wind is absolutely insane, and my hat kept blowing off at the range day. So that was not exactly fun. It almost blew downrange one time. So I guess at that point it would have just been a lost hat. Swamp Dog, you should have told me that you needed a patch. I didn't even think about it, but I actually had some with me in Iowa. So we'll have to remedy that. I'll also, Chad, sweet husband of mine, is making a website for me. So I'll finally have patches where y'all can grab them. And I got my rapid fire, obviously my rapid fire patch. And then I've got another one. Oh, I got everything right in reach tonight. Have fun. This hair is really, this hair is very self-aware tonight. Sorry, guys. I got my other patch. So I'm obsessed with these. These I think are going to, I guess this one I'm keeping because I just opened it. But these are going to be on Patreon. Rachel riding a raptor. So I've got Rachel riding a T-Rex. It's obviously not to scale. This is a Tenosaurus instead of a Tyrannosaurus because it's a youngin. And then I've got Rachel riding a raptor, but this one's decked out. So love it. I'm glowy. Maybe my lights are too close to me. I don't know. Sorry, guys. I got to change out 2 ACs, backs, and golly. And mowed the lawn. I have to cut the grass sometime this week because I meant to do it before I went to Iowa, and now I'm that neighbor. I got home yesterday, and I'm definitely that neighbor. So as soon as we have a day where it doesn't rain, because yesterday and today it's been raining. I think it was just raining a second ago, which I'm not mad about because we had a week of no rain. So likely my grass would have just died, even though I don't really have a lot of grass. It's mostly weeds. Cody, I sent you the link to the 2.0, I think, while we were at the range because I tagged. Oh, I never even said where it's from, too. The hat, my new favorite hat, Tactical Tricorn / Boonie Hat 2.0 is from Poppins Patches. I just found them on Instagram, so I tagged him, and that's when he let me know that the 2.0 was in stock now. So very excited. Philip, you're that neighbor, too. That's awesome. There's always that neighbor. Sometimes I like to be the neighbor that cuts the grass first and then makes everybody else feel bad about it, but I'm usually not that neighbor because I'm on the road. So, a babysaurus. Yeah, a Tenosaurus. That way it's still a T-Rex, but it's just a little guy. Mrs. Swamp Dog, glad you're watching this. It was so great to see y'all in Iowa, and I'm glad to know that y'all made it home safely. So you know how you always have a plan and then you completely forget what the plan was? I actually made notes of like things that I wanted to talk about tonight, and then I left it in the other room. So that plan just went completely out the window. So Ramble, anybody got questions about what all went on this weekend, or any fun things that y'all got into? Since I know a couple of y'all were actually at GunCon, which is awesome. 0351 Delta merch site. Absolutely. Yes, it's coming. Like I said, I've got a wonderful husband that is helping me so much on all of this because he decided for some reason he wanted to take up the hobby of learning to code. So I am not sure what possesses him to do some of the things that he likes to do. But the man loves learning and loves learning really difficult things. And I love learning, but numbers and codes and computer jargon, I got no idea what any of it means. I don't even know why I do social media because it's just not what I'm very good at. Swamp Dog liked shooting the MP7 from H&K and the 8.6 from Fax. So I am so disappointed with myself. So while we were at the range, we got there just a little bit late because I took a little too long getting ready. And we got there and it immediately started raining, and it ended up being very cold. Iowa showed up with all the different seasons while we were there because we got there. It was like blazing hot the first day, and then the next day It was cold enough that I actually wore a jacket a majority of the time at the range until right at the end. The sun peeked through, the clouds went away, and it was blazing hot and extremely humid. Wild. So I was very convinced that the last day it was probably going to snow, just so we get to see all the seasons of Iowa. But it didn't. It didn't snow. I was kind of surprised though. Anyway, so what I was getting to though is that we had this whole like system of how we were going to go to each one of the sponsor bays, and we got right to the middle section when we saw the lunch cart open, and then I somehow missed Faxon and like 4 other vendors. I don't know. I guess I just got distracted by hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and Oreo desserts. But yeah, I totally missed the 8.6. But I did not miss the MP7 from H&K. I did get to shoot that. I also got to shoot a 40 millimeter grenade launcher with chalk rounds, which was really awesome and something different for me. I almost got to shoot a Mark 19 one time, and that would have been my 40 millimeter adventure. But the day that I was going to get to shoot that, there were several other people shooting it as well. So it actually ended up breaking down before I got the opportunity to. So it is what it is, but the grenade launcher was really cool. And I got to keep the shell, which I have with me, but not right in front of me, or else I'd show you. But that was really cool. And I have video, and I'll try to get this video put together maybe by the end of the week. And that way I can share it with you all. But my dad also got to shoot the grenade launcher. And let me just say, I don't know how he did it, but it hit a lot closer. So the smoke show he put on was a lot, I guess, more entertaining. But he definitely missed the target. So it was a lot of fun, though. We also did a little impromptu Rachel versus Dad while we were out there, because there was, oh man, I forgot what it was called. It was Trigger something. But it was a target system that's Bluetooth that goes on the back of the target set, throws a flag up. I'll find out what it was called, and then it'll be on my other video, so you'll see what it does. But it was really cool. Trigger Interactive, I believe, is what it was called. It came back to me. But it was really fun, and I could see us having a lot of fun with that once we get our bay dug out at the house. Anyway, the food. Oh my gosh. Okay, so does anybody watch like Pit Masters or any kind of like barbecue shows? Swamp Dog's talking about the barbecue being amazing. So the first day we had food trucks out at the range. The second day, which was vendors at Brownells headquarters, and then the actual panel, they had several different food vendors and food trucks out in the parking lot at the front of Brownells, and one of them was the famous Mo and his barbecue. I got to meet Mo a few years ago on one of the social summits with Brownells, but this is the first time I got to eat his barbecue. I don't even know what to say. You could only get 2 meats, and so I got pulled pork and brisket. I've never had brisket that was that amazing, and I've had a lot of barbecue in my lifetime. But I heard, so the other option was turkey, and I heard the turkey was to die for too. So I'm kind of sad that I didn't get the turkey, but the pulled pork was good. I don't know. All of it was good. There was cheesy corn, pulled pork, turkey. I don't know. It was just absolutely amazing. I think we waited like an hour in this line to get the barbecue, but I am still dreaming about it. And if you don't know who Mo is, look him up. Dale, what's up? Thanks for being on here. Jay, thanks for being on here too, and thanks for the compliment. Earl is, I assume you're trying to say GunCon, a yearly event where is Brownells warehouse located. My daughter, son-in-law and grandson live in Iowa and do a lot of shooting. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, so GunCon, this was a first-year event, so I haven't heard yet any sort of announcement on if it will be happening again, but I really hope that it is. I would think it is. It was such a out of the park hit. Like, they did amazing on putting this event together, and Brownells was such a perfect place to host it. Brownells is hosted. Brownells is located in Grinnell, Iowa. They have an actual storefront to their warehouse, so if you ever want to go shopping while you're in Iowa, you can do that. And the best part about their storefront attached to their warehouse is that you're in a storefront that's attached to like a 240,000 square foot warehouse. So you can go in there, and if you don't see something on the shelves there, you can sit down on the computers that's on the right side of the building, or the right side of the store, and you can order whatever is in stock on their website, and they'll like put your name up on the board, and they'll get it together like Jimmy John's and send it out to you. So you can just check out right at the register and go home with your product instead of waiting for shipping. So it's pretty cool. I did time it. I don't remember how long it took us, but we got a screwdriver that we really needed. I'm giving away all my stuff for my video, but we did a little shopping at Brownells while we were there. It was a lot of fun. But we also got to tour the warehouse, which was incredible. My dad got to see everything. A few years ago, I got to do the tour, but Roy Hill from Brownells put on the tour and guided like probably 60 people through the headquarters and whatnot. And he does a fabulous job at explaining everything and walking you through the history and greatness of Brownells. Also, let's just focus for a second on 240,000 square feet. That's like, I was doing the math with Jim from Elevated Silence. And when I say I was doing the math with Jim, I mean Jim and his smart brain that's very math oriented was doing the math on 240,000 square feet. It's like 5 acres under a roof. That is Brownells warehouse, and just very cool to see. Very fun to see. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to catch up on some other things. Anyway, so back to your original question, Earl. I don't know if it's a yearly event yet, but as soon as I do know, I will let everybody else know, because certainly if they're doing this event again, I will be there to support them in any way that I can, because like I said earlier, the Gun Collective, Genevieve, Brownells, they are family, and I would be happy to be involved any way that I can. Anyway. I don't know what we're talking about the tricorn, but if you have any questions about the tactical tricorn hat, please let me know. While we were driving up to Iowa, we stopped at Dixie Gun Works in Tennessee, northwest Tennessee. I don't remember the exact town, but anyway, we stopped there because my dad wanted to there's a ton of stuff to look at. There's basically a museum with all kinds of other things, and there's a 4-bore punt gun, I think, that is extremely appealing, but I don't know what I would have to get rid of to get it. So I'll keep you posted on that one. I didn't come home with any souvenirs this time that fire, like we did from Houston. So nothing to tell or not tell my mother or my husband. Anyway, but that was really fun. We were also looking for, my dad wants an actual tricorn hat to go with his tactical tricorn hat. Although his tricorn tactical hat is actually a bicorn because he broke it. But now if I get him the 2.0, then he can't break it because it's a snap cap. Anyway. Everybody needs to go look. I'm reading Swamp Dog's comments about Mo. Everybody needs to go look up Mo. I think it's Mo Kaysen, or I'm not sure how you say his last name, but Mo has his own like barbecue sauces and seasonings. Absolutely incredible barbecue. We could all probably watch his videos. I know he's on TikTok because I just saw his name pop up the other day. Yeah, go find Mo. He's world famous for barbecue, and he lives in Iowa from what I understand. And he cooked at Brownells and fed all of us, and now we're all addicted to barbecue, even though we probably all were before. We had a major Supreme Court victory for gun rights on Thursday. Yes, we absolutely did. We had a lot of victories with the Supreme Court this week. It's been an extremely good week. The Constitution has been winning, which is just crazy to think of. Like, finally, there's been a series of decisions that actually went with the Constitution. But yeah, just reading comments. The Rachel riding the Raptor patch looks awesome. Thank you. I just think this is so cool. I have a photo, like a signed print to go with it. And these will all be on Patreon as soon as I have been slacking on everything because I've had quite a few irons in the fire trying to get several things going. I know I've let y'all know quite a bit about the machine gun shoot coming up in October, but there's been a lot going on. I should finally have my Patreon up and running, ready for everybody on July 1st. And then these will be the first couple of things that come out. So I love it. Rachel riding a raptor. I can't believe how good, I don't know if you can see like quality here, but I can't believe how good Patch Ops did on the detail. So when I had these first patches done, obviously it's just like 4 colors and pretty not too detailed, I wouldn't think. But I was told by the person that created that this would be impossible. So when Patch Ops was able to do this, like, mind blown. They look so good. Sounds like a fun time. Would be totally awesome to shoot against your dad, even if it's just a game. Yeah, we definitely compete against each other, but usually it's just for food. So I ended up having to buy him Lambert's on the way home from Iowa. I don't know. Has anybody on here been to Lambert's? They've got 3 locations. One down in like Orange Beach area, and then 2 different ones in Missouri in the Ozarks, and then I think it's Sykeston. Anybody? Any Lambert's takers here? I know, Cody, if you're still on here, I know you eat at Lambert's because we had a whole conversation about it. But they basically like throw rolls at you, and then there's like sides that they pass around and bring to your table, like fried okra and different potatoes. And anyway, way too much food in all the best ways. So it was absolutely delicious. If you have I'm getting hat tips. Okay, well, thank you so much. I also probably could have just not ordered an extra large hat because I actually have like a child-sized head. But I got an extra large because I got Chad and my dad the same size hats, and I wanted to be able to trade with him just in case I didn't like mine. So when I order my next tactical tricorn, because I'm going to get the multicam one, I will get a different size. Because, yeah, the extra large, I had to, like, basically, I got a little antenna now here with my zip tie. Whatever works, it works. Zip ties should be, like, an EDC thing. You should always have a zip tie on you because you never know when you're going to need one. I've used it to pull my hair back too many times at subgun matches. Oh, 4-bore punt gun. Sounds awesome. Yeah, you would probably really enjoy Dixie Gun Works. Oh, the patches up on your site. So my site isn't live yet, but as soon as it does go live, the patches will be up there. Whew. Chick-fil-A break. Oh, and Swamp Dog is reminding me that I got to handle something super rare. Has anybody on here heard of a Slocum side-loading revolver? Because you should have if you're on here, because I posted it as gun of the day. I think that was Saturday night, or was it Saturday night? It was either Saturday or Sunday, because it was right after GunCon. But very interesting gun. They only made them for 2 years, and then Swamp Dog isn't saying this on here, but he was actually directly related to the creator of this gun. Very, very neat. So glad that he actually brought it for show and tell and shared that with us. But super interesting gun. You should definitely look it up and look into a little bit of the history of it. Operates completely differently than any other revolver I've ever seen, probably because it's the way it was made for 2 years. But anyway, if anybody has any like specific questions about that, let me know and I will try to answer them the best I can. But I've only just now for the first time ever seen one in real life, so I don't have all the answers for you, but I'm always here to learn more. So hi from Minnesota. Hello, thanks for being on here. I don't know if I've ever told this story on a live, but I might as well since I got somebody from Minnesota on here. So we'll get into this really quickly. I'll make it a quick rant. But a few years ago, my husband and I did a trip from Atlanta all the way up to Glacier National Monument and then back down through Utah. Idaho, Wyoming, Utah. We did like a little zigzag, but we tried to go 2 different ways so that we could see everything. So while we were in Utah, we were out looking at petroglyphs, and we went on this road that you can only get to when it's dry, during dry season. And just really, really cool trip, middle of nowhere. And out there is where he proposed to me. So Chad gets done proposing. We go back to the truck. This is like 5 minutes after he got down on his knee, and I said yes and everything. Get back to the truck. We get a double, 2 of them, tire blowout in the actual middle of nowhere. 45 minutes from cell service. There was no walking. It's like 112, 113 degrees out there. And we're like, okay. I thought it was hilarious. Like, I was laughing, but Chad was obviously not really amused at this point. Because like I said, 5 minutes. Like, this was 5 minutes after he asked me to marry him. And yeah, we were kind of trying to figure out what to do. Like, maybe we change one of the tires and try to like slowly creep back to town, but like the tires are flat, like the flattest they could be. You could hear them deflating in the truck. Like, it sounded crazy. So we're out there trying to change one of the tires, and out of nowhere, this big white van comes rolling down the road where we think nobody else is even back here. And they have to stop because we're in the middle of the road. So man gets out, and he's like trying to figure out what's going on, if we're trying to like trap him or something. And anyway, basically a little while after we got engaged, we ended up hitchhiking back to town, which is like an hour away, with a family of 7 from Minnesota, which is how it relates back to Minnesota. The nicest people. We owe them so much. They were just such a nice family. It was parents and then obviously 5 kids, and they were just the sweetest people ever. They wouldn't let us pay them. It's just still mind-blowing. But anyway, we ended up spending the rest of the day back out by the car because of the way that there was only one tire place in this town, or at least that we knew of, or that was open. It was a weird day, but they closed at like 5 o'clock. So we ended up being out in the middle of the desert area back with the truck they sent us in, and we sat there for like 7 hours. We didn't get back out of there until almost 9 o'clock at night. It was wild. They stayed open for us, though. They got the tires fixed for us. I actually still have the receipt for the tires because it had a dinosaur on it. And it was the day we got engaged, so I just thought it was like really special. But yeah, wild. There's a lot more to the story. But basically, we were stuck out there in that weather. There was only a gallon of gas with the truck they sent us with, so we couldn't like keep the air on or anything because it would have run out and we would have been double stranded. And there was no gas station. That's the other craziest part. There's no gas station that was open for them to go get gas. So absolutely wild trip. Oh, and when we finally did get all this figured out, I was driving my husband's truck back. He was driving the truck that the tire company sent us out there in. And then there was another guy, the tow truck guy, or the tire guy was in. So we had 3 vehicles out in the middle of nowhere. And then we see somebody that's looking for a dog. And then I found the dog. So it was just the craziest day. Because by that point, the sun was finally setting. And there's like large animals out there that would definitely eat a little dog. But I went way off on a tangent here, but it was needless to say, I've got a special place in my heart for people from Minnesota because y'all saved our lives, and I appreciate it. Philip, the place that we were at when all that happened, it was Dinosaur National Monument in Utah. Glacier, we had our own like crazy event happen up there. We saw grizzly bears and got stuck in like a snowstorm that came out of nowhere in the middle of July. So I could get into that story too if anybody wants me to. Otherwise, I'll save that one for another day. But basically, the weather is weird. Weather is weird out there because it could be like a perfectly normal day, and then out of nowhere, like crazy winds and lightning storms happen. And yeah, the West is cool. Julio, I am having a great day. It's been a good Tuesday. I'm trying to catch up with work because obviously I was on the road for a week and I could work from the car a little bit, but every now and then we went like so many back roads that, I'd lose service completely. But back to today. So catching up on work. I've been on 2 different meetings today where I was, like, mid-question, and then I guess my neighbors are, like, cutting trees down or something. I thought a tree fell, like, right beside the house because of the way it hit the ground, and then my whole house shook. So either, it was a really big tree or I need a new house because my house is too shaky. And I'm hoping that it was just a really big tree 'cause, uh, I just got siding, so I don't really need a new house. Is my video dragging? Is that what y'all are saying? No, Noel or Noel. I don't know how you say your name. Sorry. Well, thanks for being on here and thanks for saying hey. Seems that every trip we take, we have some kind of adventure or random obstacle that pops up. Absolutely, and same here. But we do a lot of road trips, and I think it sounds kind of like y'all do as well. And I love road trips because you never know who you're gonna meet, and you never know what kind of like crazy adventure you're gonna get into. Like I'll never forget driving from Glacier National Monument through Idaho in the middle of the night because number one, there's nothing on this one road that goes that direction. I don't even know which way to tell you that we went. There was nothing for like 3 hours. And luckily, like we were on the gas up every time you see gas understanding because there were several stretches where there was absolutely nothing that you see. And there was one spot in Idaho where, like I said, we saw nothing for like 3 hours. And then there was a gas station, but gas was like $8 a gallon, and this was 2019. So absolutely crazy. Oh, from Sal. What's up? Thanks for being on here. I was actually wearing my Sal hat today earlier. I wore it to the gym and and all of my meetings because it was hair washing day, which is why my hair is doing whatever it wants to today. Anyway, SAO, for those of you who don't know, Special Operations Wounded Warriors, absolutely incredible charity organization that you should all look into at least. Brownells partners with them at least once a year. They do a big weekend and donate quite a bit of money to them. Also, it's an event before I really started YouTubing. There's an event in February where it's called Taken Bacon, and they bring in Special Operations Wounded Warriors and just put on an incredible time. Anyway, great organization. You should all look into it. They are changing lives and saving lives, and I'm just really happy that I've been involved with them in any way, and hope that I'll be back at the next one. The last couple I missed, 2020 obviously was actually I was sick during that one, and then this past year I was actually sick again for this one, so kind of crazy. But yeah, I hope to be at the next one because there was like 2 or 3 years in a row that I got out there and just helped any way that I could, and great time, great people, and like I said, changing and saving lives. It is 18 minutes behind the chat. Huh. That's crazy. So some of y'all are seeing this like 18 minutes late. How does a vet get a free gaming computer? I am not the person to answer that because I don't know anything about gaming computers. So good luck in your journey. That's the best I can give you. Yeah, it's 40. Yeah, it's a 40, 50 mile at best between gas stations here. Dang, that's pretty crazy too. So besides the grenade launcher, what was your second favorite thing to shoot? Obviously the MP7 was extremely fun, and I've never fired an MP7 before, so that was a first for me. Also, Volkortson had quite a few really fun things, and who doesn't love 22s? Also, I said this on the panel because they asked what we were most excited to shoot out there. I've never tried any of LMT's products. So they had the grenade launcher, which was obviously very fun, but I also just enjoyed trying out their other rifles because everything they do has ambidextrous stuff. So I really liked the controls being on the right side. I never realized I would. It was definitely something that I would have to figure out. But like I said on the panel and several other times, when people asked, I shoot a lot of Uzis, so you have to keep your firing grip to be able to manipulate the Uzi. And it kind of was just like very natural to be able to do that with their ARs. So really interesting. There was a lot of people saying the 8.6. I can't believe that I missed the 8.6 and like 4 other people. I'm really disappointed in myself because in my head, I thought that I hit up every single booth and I did not. I have had the airport break the shell on a hard case gun case coming back from Germany in the service. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I'm going to be flying with a gun. I've actually never flown with a gun before. Seems kind of surprising, but a lot of places I usually drive, so I've never had to fly with a gun. Usually if I am going somewhere, excuse me, yawning. Usually if I am going somewhere, there's a gun waiting for me, so I don't have to worry about flying with guns. Or like I said, I'm driving, so I've never flown with a gun, but this fall I'm going to be flying with a gun, and it's international, so whole different ball game for me. Should be a very interesting experience. I will probably try to document as much as I can. And I'll probably be talking to Julie Stallings quite a bit because she's flown all over the world obviously for shotgun stuff. So I'm going to get a little bit of advice from her and on what kind of case and locks, and there's lists and stuff on that and other people's videos, but I got a lot to learn in a couple months. TSA is a nightmare with firearms. I hear back and forth. Like I hear sometimes it's a terrible experience, and then I hear other times that it's like very easy, or that they don't check anything because they don't know what to check for. So I'm hoping that it's not a bad experience for me, especially since it's my first international flight. It's my first flight with firearm, like lots of stuff going on with that. That was 40 years ago. Well, hopefully they won't be breaking anything in mine. I know Julia's had some crazy stories about like she has trackers on all of her cases, so she would hear like her gun's lost and she'd be like, I know exactly where my gun is. It's over here. Like, go get it kind of situation. I'm going to have to get her to share some of those. Trying to play a game on stream called SCP, and my computer crashes every time I try. Man, that is a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope you get it figured out because that can be extremely frustrating. I feel like we've covered quite a few topics here tonight. You use a Pelican case on all of your luggage, and you fly with a lot of guns. It's not bad. Cool. Okay. Well, I definitely have some Pelican cases. I still got to figure out what gun I'm going to either get or use. I'm going on a hunt. I'm not going to tell y'all where yet, unless I already did. I think I might have told y'all. If you want to guess, you can. Anyway, I'm going on a hunt this fall, and I got to bring a gun. I think they said there might be some there, but if I'm going to go on this kind of hunt, I want to bring my own gun because I feel like it will be a special gun after the hunt. So if it's a successful hunt, I'll probably ask y'all what you would use at some point. RPG7 works well. Oh boy. Man, I am just hearing so much about the 8.6, and I'm like extremely disappointed that I didn't get to shoot it. So Faxon, I'm gonna have to get after them and see if I can figure out a time to try it out. I really like the ambidextrous tools. Yeah, it was really neat. I mean, the stuff that at LMT, I tried a bunch of like different ambidextrous things, or like anyway, I really liked that. Fair enough. I still prefer driving. Yeah, I do too, actually. I prefer driving because the airport stresses me out. Also, I like to be able to bring like all of my stuff with me. So if you ever see my car when I'm traveling, or if you've ever seen my suitcase, I can like fit inside of it. And it's ridiculous. But I love driving for those reasons. Plus, I don't have to like double check all of my luggage to make sure there's nothing sharp or in there. Oh, on another note, though, because I've been waiting for this, and a couple weeks ago, y'all asked me about my reloading equipment from the reloading trip I went on with the Ultimate Reloader and Frankfurt Arsenal, and who else was there? Crimson Trace, and anyway, a bunch of the American Outdoor brands. But my gun finally got here. I got a Seekins Precision Havoc 6 Creedmoor that finally arrived while I was up in Iowa. Super excited to finally take it back to the range. I was hoping there was, we just had a not precision, what do we have? We had a bullseye match at my local range just a couple weeks ago, and I was hoping to be able to compete in that, but it ended up being my parents' anniversary, and my gun hadn't gotten here yet. So, and I had planned to use it along with some of the rounds that I loaded on that trip. So I wasn't able to do that, but I still have 50 rounds from what I previously loaded. And I got to get it back out and shoot it. And maybe I'll take it up to Sawmill. I'm hoping to be back up there shortly to get a little more details figured out for the October machine gun shoot. But yeah, anyway, just excited to have my gun finally. It's beautiful. And it's mine. And it's the first one I ever hit out to 1,400 yards with. So just really excited to have it home. Reloading 9mm right now as you watch this. That's awesome. You know, I was kind of hoping that like while I did lives, I could be like cleaning guns or like doing something else and kind of chatting with y'all like while I do something productive. And then I figured out that you can't do that on here. I did hear, I think last week we were talking about that you can do that on Twitch. So maybe I look more into that at some point. Anybody on here also on Twitch? Y'all can let me know if it's worth getting on or not. Every now and then I get on there and watch Alex Zedger's videos because her live streams are hilarious. Bill, you only drive up to 500 miles. Anything outside of that, you fly. I like road tripping, so we drive as much as we can. I'm trying to sound this out. You can even do live fire on live streams on Uteron, something or another. Me sounding out words, that should be its own thing. I can't. Utreon. Got it. I appreciate you for sounding that out for me. Oh no. Interesting. Okay, so maybe I look into that. I'm gonna write this down. I do have another piece of paper right here. So Utreon. Interesting. I'm on I've been trying to figure this out. So I'm also on what's it called? Let me find out really fast. You have to you do little videos for people and I'm also on Cameo, and I've been trying to figure out if I can do like fun little shooting videos on Cameo and shout people out or explode things or something on there. But I don't know if they're friendly for that. I need to look into that a little bit more. I've had guns on there though for like people that wanted birthday shout outs and stuff, and that worked out fine. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Oh, thank you so much for just sending me the info. It makes it so much easier. And you know the CEO, that's pretty cool too. CN Arsenal uses Utreon to take apart a Lewis gun. I need to Lewis gun is very, very, very high on my list of guns that I need to shoot in my lifetime. Just throwing that out there. I've seen Lewis guns several times at Knob Creek, and they're just like absolutely beautiful. Plus they shoot 303. And yeah. I have an episode of the podcast on my channel with too cool. Okay. M1A2 Abrams tank. I am reading your comment about the video lag right now. I'm so sorry that you're experiencing that. I hope nobody else is, because that would be really irritating. But I don't think you are, because you're commenting pretty close to when I mispronounce things. So Josiah, thanks for being on here. I hope you've had a great week, and then hopefully I'll see you next week. Oh man, it's almost past my bedtime too. The Gun Collector's on here. What's up? I haven't experienced any lagging yet. Okay, good. Thank goodness. Gonna call it a night. All right. Well, I'm sorry that you experienced so much lagging. M1A2. your name. I'm sorry you experienced so much lagging, but I hope you had a great night, and maybe you can just watch this later and it'll be real time for you. And then you can see how much it was actually lagging. 303 British is a fun round to shoot. Yeah, it is a fun round to shoot, but it's not a fun round to shoot right now because it's extremely hard to replace. We pretty much ask everybody if they have or are getting any 303 British in. I also shouted it out on the panel the other night. And I had a couple people say they may have cases. So anyway, yeah, really hard to get a hold of right now. Wait, where did you stop on your way back from? Oh, if you're ever in Jackson, check out Del Monte something or another. They're amazing. Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, we went to Lambert's on this trip back. We tried to limit it to like, we were going to go to Lambert's and then we were going to go back through, back by, what am I trying to say? We're going to go back by Reelfoot Lake and hit up Boyette's or Blue something. I forgot the name of it. I wanted to call it Blue Cat, but that's not right. But it's on Reelfoot Lake, and they just rebuilt it. So anyway, but we ended up just doing Lambert's, and then we cut over into Kentucky and then came back down and tried to beat the rain, which we did not beat the rain. But anyway, we made it home safe, and that's all that really matters. Lambert's, home of the throne rolls. Yes, and they're delicious. And my dad really showed off catching those rolls. He caught me one and he caught himself one and then he ate both of them. So I just got like a pinch of the bread because I didn't want to try to catch one because I was not confident in my abilities. But I got a great video of him catching them. That was a lot of fun. Also, they're like, if you've never been to Lambert's, it's got thrown rolls, which they literally throw them at you and around you, and they might bounce off people, and it's just really entertaining. But it's also like a giant, trying to figure out the best way to describe it, like a Cracker Barrel on steroids. I think the food was better than Cracker Barrel. And then they also have like an arcade when you're trying to leave. So you got a lot going on there. It's like an arcade, a museum, and a Cracker Barrel on steroids all mixed into one with better food. And I'm a Cracker Barrel fan. Take a 303 on your hunting trip. I've kind of been considering maybe doing that. Definitely something bolt action. I got to figure out what. Genevieve's and VR interviews. Oh, did she do a VR interview? How cool. And that's going to be on your channel? I will have to watch it. Lots of pop-up storms out there today as well. Yeah, I haven't, it's been raining here, but it hasn't been like terrible. So, we saw a billboard for that place, but we didn't stop. Now we will have to make sure we check it out next time you go through. Yeah, you definitely need to go there. I didn't realize what I was missing either. It was my first time at Lambert's, but my dad knew what it was. And I wish I remembered the name of the two women that I was talking to at GunCon, but they're the ones that recommended it to us. One of them was from, I think, Connecticut, and the other one was from Minnesota. And they were just really sweet. But they also recommended Lambert's, which we definitely ended up at the next day. So shout out to those ladies for referring us to great food. There's been a lot of catfish on our trip this last week. I really want to eat it in Lambert's. Yeah, now so does everybody else. We've been talking about a lot of food on here tonight. We got Chick-fil-A, Moe's, barbecue, Lambert's, catfish, Boyette's. Boyette's, though, anybody on here know about Boyette's? Because they do something very different from any other catfish place I know about. They do catfish steaks. It's delicious. It's probably nutritious, except that it's fried. I don't know. It's tasty, though. It means you got a big fish, too. But yeah, anyway. I'm going to try to stop talking about food. Otherwise, I'm going to end up getting a midnight snack because it's, getting kind of close to that midnight mark. And I could definitely ramble about food. Boyer's, I think it's called Boyette's, but it's on Reelfoot Lake, and it's the first place that I ever ate catfish at. And it's really good. They still have the same like rocking horse that you, back when I went when I was a child, I vaguely remember it being 10 cents, but it's a quarter now, just in case. So it too was affected by inflation. But yeah, Boyette's at Reelfoot Lake. I'm still talking a lot about food, but if you can get there, catfish steaks, Delicious. I'm going to end it at that. Will you make a video of your hunting trip? Yes, I absolutely will make a video of my hunting trip. I'm going to try to actually pull up scraps from I'm really bad about remembering to record when I'm on trips like that because like first of all, I'm trying to soak up all the minutes I have with those people. And I like to be in the moment instead of like constantly trying to be behind a camera. One of these days I'm just going to get somebody that'll follow me around, but I got to figure out how to do that. So anyway, I have some footage from my hunt with Brownells on there. We did a ladies trip up to Michigan last year with Nikki Boxler, Danya Vizzi, Lakeisha from Halo Hunting, and Gabriella Hoffman. So sorry, I like blanked on everybody's names for a second, but that was a really cool trip. We did grouse and woodcock, and then Cody, Randy, and Roy from Brownells were all there with us as well. Really cool trip, a lot of fun. Good food too at the place that we stayed at. It was like a historical lodge and really, really fun. But we did grouse, woodcock. I came home with both, and maybe next live, if y'all want to know about this or see it, I actually have the tail from my grouse. I got it on the morning that we were leaving, so I didn't get to enjoy the meat. The guide actually took it home and used it with his family. So I'm glad that somebody got to eat it, but I've heard really good things about the food or about grouse meat. So sad that I didn't get to, but back to food. Always goes back to food. You're nuts for wanting to go catfish noodling, by the way. Nuts, adventurous, I don't know what you call it, but yeah, I absolutely want to go noodling. I'm gonna need to eventually hit up Hannah Barron and see if I can go with her and her dad. Maybe make my dad go out there, or maybe I don't think my dad would want to go noodling. Maybe he would want to go laugh at me trying to noodle. But I talked to Roy Hill from Brownells and he really wants to go. So maybe we'll work that trip out someday. Hey, some of y'all are connecting with Sal. How cool. Hoping to do a VR hunting video. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Chick-fil-A and Cracker Barrel are the only ones that have been mentioned that are in North Dakota, mainly Bismarck and Fargo. Okay. Well, I mean, at least you have Chick-fil-A and Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrels don't exist way out west, which is like the craziest thing. Because sometimes when I'm road tripping, I depend on Cracker Barrels just because it's like a constant. It's consistently good. Guys, what are y'all doing? Y'all are getting me back to talk about food. It's like a one-track mind tonight, and I don't know why, because I already got my Chick-fil-A fill. This and LinkedIn are the only social channels I use in any way. Email is easy, but Roy is perhaps the best connection. Sorry, I'm reading that out loud, but that's referring back to Sal. Grouse. Forest chicken is what we call them. That's funny. Do you have Jack in the Box? So, I'm trying to think. Near me, I guess we're just gonna keep the food thing going. So near me, we don't have a Jack in the Box. Is Jack in the Box and Jack's the same thing? Anybody got insight on that? Junior C, what's up? It's going good. We've been talking about food for like 58 minutes. Oops, can't help it. Yeah, I'm making everybody hungry. Whiskey or scotch? Definitely whiskey. Anybody else got on that? No, Jack's is not the same as Jack in the Box, and you found out the hard way. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I think I've been to a Jack's in Texas, maybe, and then Jack in the Box. I think there might be one in like Northwest Georgia. I think I vaguely either remember seeing that or Jack's. If not, then no, we don't have them anywhere near me for sure. But we don't really have a whole lot of things. We just got I was about to say we just got Whataburger, but that would be a lie. I'm just thinking about food now in Texas and everything. But we just in the last few years got a Bojangles because they've been popping up everywhere. And then obviously we have a lot of Chick-fil-A's because I live in the land of Chick-fil-A. Georgia is home to Chick-fil-A headquarters, as well as quite a few other things. Actually, Hooters headquarters is here too. And yeah, I like vodka the most, but I'd try both whiskey and scotch. I'd like to try. Oh, you haven't tried whiskey or scotch? Okay, so I like whiskey. Some whiskey. And then I like vodka. Probably, maybe. That's kind of my go-to. Because you can't really mess it up unless it's really, really cheap. Never been to a Hooters. Oh, man. So it's been a while because I obviously don't work there anymore. So it's been a while for me since I've been. I need to get back up there and see all my friends, though. Next time you're in, I was about to say Hooters. Next time you're in Utah, come grab shrimp steak at Maddox. Amazing. I will have to look into that. I hope to be back in Utah. I kind of want to be able to visit Utah like once a year because I just love it out there. I would like to go back to Kentucky and do, is it Kentucky or Tennessee? There's a whiskey trail or something, I think, in Tennessee, and then maybe a bourbon trail in Kentucky. I need to look back into that too, but I've been talking about doing that with maybe my brother and his wife. That'd be a lot of fun. I want Chili's now. How'd you get on Chili's? We've been talking about like all these obscure restaurants. Or are you just hungry? Kentucky has bourbon. I knew it was Kentucky bourbon, but I was trying to figure out. I know Knob Creek obviously is there, and then I don't know who else. And then I've been to the exits. They're all kind of close together on the route that we used to take up to Knob Creek. So like 1 second you're passing all the Tennessee whiskey areas, and then I guess the next you're in Kentucky with bourbon. But it would be fun to do that trail. Never been to a Hooters either, but I'd love to go before they. What's happening? Before they what? They actually just had their pageants last week too, if anybody keeps up with that. Okay, Texas Roadhouse, I can get behind because I love Texas Roadhouse. They're kind of like a Cracker Barrel to me as far as like places to visit when you just want food that's familiar. Because it's just good. I've never had a bad steak at Texas. Actually, I had one bite of gristle one time at a Texas Roadhouse, but it's always been really good meat. And now I'm hungry. What are y'all doing to me? I'm probably gonna wrap this up because it's almost midnight here, and I haven't posted yet today. And we've literally been talking about food for an hour. It's always something. We've had like dinosaur rants for an hour. We've had wrestling rants for an hour, which came out of nowhere because I think y'all asked about the mask up there. But yeah, tonight was food. After you cross Mount Eagle, you come across Jack Daniels. Okay. The Barrett. Too cool. Okay. Yeah, I know that Mount Eagle drive far too well. Usually that's where my dad lets me drive. I don't know why, because usually he gets onto me we get onto each other for our own driving. But I always seem to drive the Mount Eagle stretch and the Atlanta stretch. So he puts me in the highest traffic and hills and bumps zones. You'd like to go to Hooters before they close? Are they closing? If they are, that's news to me. It seems like they are reverting back to like older style. Well, I won't say older style uniforms. A lot has changed at Hooters since I quit. I'm just going to leave it at that. Maybe we'll end the video here. But I really appreciate you all for jumping on here and talking restaurants with me. Didn't think that was going to be where this went tonight, but you never know. So it is a big part of road tripping, picking good food. I hope you all have a great night, and I'm looking forward to next Tuesday. I have no idea what we're going to talk about then, because it's always a surprise. But thanks for being on here, and I'll see y'all next week. Check you later.